Well, once again, welcome to the World Storytelling Cafe Family Tent. And it's me, it's David Driver, and behind me you can see my storytellers board. There we go, storytellers. And always remember the three words I say: imagine, create, inspire. In your writing, whether it's poetry or prose, always remember, take those words with you, please. And two sayings at the back: under the sun we shall weave our words of magic, and under the light of the moon we shall dream about them. So always remember that. Under the light of the sun we shall weave our words of magic, and under the light of the moon we shall dream about them. Now you might be laughing at this here. It is a top hat, a Victorian black top hat, and now and then I do wear it. Brings a smile to people's faces. But today's set is going to be, it's obviously going to be a poetry set, and it's going to be horrifyingly dark tales, because you do know by now I do like to write in the horror and fantasy genres, and I'm going to share a selection of poems with you. So I just thought this might get you in the mood, and if you are a little bit scared, it might cheer you up. So here goes. And before I get started, yes, just get the poetry box donation, the little hat just in the bottom corner here, and if you want to make a donation, then please do so, but you don't have to do, and it's somewhere here. This first one is called Swamp Witch, and it goes like this. Banished queen, you were seen sharing your bed. He's now dead. Stripped bare, they mock and stare. Whipped through the street, bloodied bare feet. Left to die, friends laugh, not cry. Naked in the stench, unwanted wench. Swamplands foul, rotting. Wannabe throne seekers plotting. King with a roaming eye. Royal power decides if live or die. Nearly dead body uncovered. New allies discovered. They've been anticipating, patiently waiting for human flesh and bone to sit on their throne of the tortured and the dead, who remained silent whilst they bled. Ancient magic at your fingertips, archaic words on vengeful lips. Around your limbs vipers coil, undead zombies work and toil. Black ravens take flight, becoming your sight. Armies of rats, the silence of bats. Panthers stalk, the dead now talk. Dark forces await to storm the gate. At your command, they'll rule the land. Step forth, chosen one, no longer a fallen queen. You are the Swamp Witch. Hope you like that one. And this next one is I think that a lot of these poems come to me. We like going to Whitby. Love going to Whitby, North Yorkshire. Go for the Goth Fest twice a year, which normally falls in April and October. Fantastic place to go if you've never been. And obviously, dare I say it, home of Dracula, and all these crazy dark thoughts come to me. Sometimes short stories, sometimes poetry. This next one is called Crazy Midnight Feast, and it's set in a graveyard, quite obviously. Buried in the grave, your master's slave. Movements, groans, flesh grows on bones. Hands appear, much to fear. The graveyard is alive as the corpses thrive on life once more. Back through hell's door, spasms, jerks, one even twerks. The dead have gathered, walking like they're blathered. Zombie midnight meeting, no one's heart is beating. Death squad family needs feeding. Victims dead and bleeding. Good stuff indeed. This next one. So we're just going back to that point. I suppose I've mentioned about Whitby, and it is a place to go, and plenty some graveyards in there. And obviously, if you are a fan of the film Dracula or the book, anything to do with Dracula, the graveyard is there. You can go up to St Hilda's Church on the top of the hill. Some fantastic steps going up there, and you can see where all the inspiration comes from. So if that is your thing, visit Whitby. I don't suppose any poetry collection, horror collection would be the same without writing about a werewolf. And I did have a few ideas, and it's just a short point, and it goes like this. Hello, Mr. Werewolf. It's another full moon. Please change quickly. Please change soon. But that's not your name. Sharp teeth, sharp claws, slaking your thirst with murderous jaws. You're Mr. Brindle, the vacuum repairman. Blood-stained victims in the fields and park, hiding in the shadows, lurking in the dark. Bitten yourself 2 months ago this Thursday. I see you from my bedroom. I know you've killed at least 2. But let me tell you, Mr. Lichened Man, I have something special lined up for you. Time to do a little repairing myself. Some might call you the Devil's Son. The silver bullets loaded, waiting in my gun. So it's I'll just read it part of that poem again, and I did try to get it into two poems into one, so to speak a little bit of a message. The first line of each verse tells a story. So if I read them like this, it would say, hello, Mr. Werewolf, but that's not your name. You're Mr. Brindle, the vacuum repair man. Time to do a little repairing myself. So those are the first 4 lines of the verses, and obviously the other ones step into place. This one is, I suppose, it's a little bit more light-hearted, and it has a little bit of a hidden message, and it's called but with IT thing. It's the Big Bad Bombalooka. Yes, never cross a big bad Bombalooka, and I suppose you decide what you think. It's got a little bit of a hidden message, if you like. Watching, waiting, anticipating, senses wild, man, woman, and child, all disappear, etched with fear. Gone no trace, grief-stricken face. Search parties, searches, praying in churches, back empty-handed. Others are branded, lynch them instead. Retribution for the dead. But the Bombalooka is well fed, all the warnings said. Build elsewhere, have some care. Failure to listen pockets glisten. With a dead man's chest, you know best. Laugh and invest. The monster's real, no folklore. The death toll will rise. He'll kill more and more. So I hope that you did like that one. And I suppose that one was based on where I live. And I suppose where all you lovely people live. As always, builders, investors, building houses quite obviously. And I was sort of in the mindset of a nice horror poem and thinking, well, what if they unearth something a little bit wild and crazy and it stopped them building? So all these thoughts are two combined in there. This next one is it's about a wizard, and I do like writing about wizards and that sort of magical feel, and I think most people do. In fact, I've got 2 poems on this set about a wizard, or about wizards, should I say? And it's called. This was called the Black Wizard. High in your blood-stained tower, deciding when to unleash dark power. Savage, destructive, unforgiving, destroying cities, no one living. Magic for killing, death and hate, you cast the vote on the innocent's fate. Red dragons have succumbed to your superior skill, fire-breathing death machines carrying out your will. Centuries of evil pursue death and destruction. Armies of the undead await your killing instruction. Steel will not cut your flesh, arrows will not pierce your heart. But tonight is a red full moon, the dawning of a new start. A baby cries on this cloudless night. His mother loves him and holds him tight. An ancient gift he possesses, soothing his head, she caresses. The wolves accept him as one of their own, the image of man, flesh and bone. Natural magic of night and day. He'll become your equal, destined to cast you away. This next poem, just slightly, if you just look there, probably just up there, look, just the owl, and it does feature on the recordings where I'm stood, but I will be bringing you an owl set, but not today. But this next poem is, it's called Snowy Owl. I am fascinated by owls, and I think owls can fit into many genres, and I'm thinking of doing a little bit more with this poem. But for now, I shall leave it as it is. It's called Snowy Owl. Beautiful, white, silent in flight, I know what you do each darkest night. You're not hunting, searching, finding your prey. You've been longing the hours away. To visit your lover, a cruel price you pay. A princess of magic who's cursed by the day. Don't worry about your secret. With me, it will always stay. Good stuff indeed. These next ones, I've got a few more to go. These next ones, I don't know if they are a similar vein. This is the first one I'm going to read, or should I say the next one I'm going to read is called The Lair, and then we'll move on to the trapdoor. Down, down, down to the lair to bring back the bones. which quietly lay there, dark, silent. Go, if you dare. The money's good, the buyer pays well, but who comes back? No one can tell. Legend says it's the gateway to hell. Live like a king, money buys all. Electric gates, cameras on every wall. Sports car, walking tall. Foolish, gullible, easily bought. Also the case when the priceless is sought. Pause before acting. Give it a thought. Your carcass will rot just like the rest. But thanks for your efforts. You've done your best. Why travel east? Should have stayed back west. His hunger is slaked on human blood. Others will try. You did what you could. Does evil always triumph over the good? This next one is called Trap Door, and we've all been there. We've all seen a trap door, thought about a trap door, but when you see it, your heart starts racing. And will you just open it up, and there might be a lot of bright lights, and people say, "Welcome, come on in, it's party time." Or will it be a wine cellar or something magical? But most of us are not thinking that. Thinking it will be dark and something horrible, nasty, evil will be lurking in the trap door. So you've got to ask yourself the question, who invented the trap door and why have we still got them? Let's do away with the trap doors. Okay. Within the floor sits a trap door. Down below I'll have to go to count the bodies hanging there, lifeless, bloody, cold and bare. I'll have a guest coming round for tea, a little last supper, for you, not me. The body count rises, it's 24, and very soon another will go through the trap door. Okay, there I read on. This next one is, I have mentioned about owls. I'm also fascinated by crows. I don't know why, I just think it's the sort of dark side, the Edgar Allan Poe, that sort of thing. I've also got a few works in progress, should I say, with regard to crows. And well, this one was quite obviously about a crow. Let's see what you think. Hello, Mr. Crow. What do you know? And where do you go? When you fly away from an old deciduous tree, will you take me to the white-bone city of the deceased and the dead, to the tower of the wizards, where you're watered and fed, to tell tales of the werewolves and what they have said, hundreds of years seen by your eyes, master's servant, one of his spies? You know powerful magic that many desire, from books that are hidden in a guarded spire, spells of ice and spells of fire. I will see you again when the sun rises once more. I pray you will take me away from this desolate, cursed shore. So that's my little take on the story of the crow. And this next one's called the door. Or if I were to speak in a Yorkshire accent, many sort of takes on accents, the crow, the door, or the door. So, and it's quite easy. Many people, wherever you live in the world, you have a front door, possibly a back door, an entrance, an exit, that sort of thing. You know you are entering a room or a space that is safe. But again, the mind starts racing. What can be behind certain doors? Let's find out. Open the door if you dare. Take a look. See who's standing there. Rusty key turning, stomach churning, hinges creaking. Who are you meeting? Lifeless eyes, no Halloween disguise, smelling of death, acrid breath, talons black, money for crack, out on bail, another cheap sale, nothing to steal. How does it feel? Hellbound for you, should have stopped sniffing glue. No silver or gold, just a tale you've been told of endless treasure to take at your leisure. You won't make it down the stairs. Please say your prayers. Demon behind the door, surely you know the score. You've been fooled, client, drooled at your demise. Listen to the cries. Close the door, struggle no more. Your flesh will taste so nice with every tender slice. Bones ground to dust and the key of rust. The demon will lock the door and you will be no more. Scary stuff indeed. Okay. This, I suppose this next one, I'm just looking through another one on a dark side but with a sense of humour. It's called Wizard. Not the Black Wizard, obviously this was just a wizard. And anyway, silly thing, a little bit more light-hearted. Casting magic from ancient writing, a wizard's life must be so exciting. Flying above clouds, spellbound tower, what's it like to have all that power? Not that good really. Washers up blink, I don't know how to mend it, and all my socks stink. I sleep with a bucket on my head because the old roof leaks. What can I do? It's been like that for weeks. I know, Mr. Wizard. Come and live with me. My mum's a really good cook. She'll make us egg and chips for tea. You can live in the cupboard with all the toys and games. Turn Billy Baxter into a smelly toad for calling people rude names. Best of all, you'll have a friend in Granny Nelly. She'll soon have you chewing wine gums and watching soaps on the telly. Granny's jokes are funny. They'll certainly have you in laughter and stitches. But best of all, my dad says that her and her sister are a couple of bitter, cantankerous old witches. So, slightly, a little bit jovial, that one. We've got four more to go. And we're back onto sort of a door theme now, because this was called No Entry. And why is it? Is it human nature, or is it just in a certain few of us? When people say to you, don't do this, you automatically think, I'm going to do it. Don't do this, like do not run when you're at school, do not run in the corridor, do not bring drinks into the classroom, or do not, I suppose, for the people that are driving. Do not exceed 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour. Do not smoke. No smoking area. And that little bit of naughtiness creeps in. And have you ever been into a building and you see on the door, obviously the exit and the entrance, but you see a sign that says no entry? And sometimes you might be tempted, yes, you might be tempted to go in somewhere or enter a building when you are not supposed to do so. But be careful, because this might happen. No entry were the words posted on the door. Temptation engulfed. I had to know more. Hinges creaked, acrid air stenched. Entering the dwelling, curiosity quenched. Slamming behind, entombed, sealed in. Something lingered, watched, crawled over skin. Manic laughter taunted, in the darkness faces. Execution, death time, end of lifetime places. Ancient evil feeding time, menu is beginning. Serving up tonight, another human skinning. Goodness me, behave yourself. Do not go through a door when it says no, it means no. Okay, the theme I've got 3 more to go. And this next one, we've got a witch, a hag, and the darkness. So we'll start off with the witch, and I think witches, wizards, they all come to mind. It goes like this. Crushed under stones, burnt to bones, using magic, ending tragic. Spirit haunting, laughing, taunting, black spell curse. Stroke, need a nurse. Confined to your quarters, I'm loving the slaughters. Your family dwindling, my fire needs no kindling. Mr. Raven brings me news, Black Cat talks in mews. Life depleting, death nearing meeting. Never want to falter, you're on the altar. Cold blade slicing, heart is dicing. Enjoying every morsel, returning through the portal. Revenge is bloody tasty, churches a little hasty. To act so swiftly with a witch, but this one's back and she's a bitch. Next one, the hag. And although this one is mainly fictitious horror, and it goes by the title of the hag, there's a hidden message here, and it's quite poignant in today's society. The hag, haggard crone, skin and bone, blind, milky eyes, seeing through lies, begging for money. Soothsayer ain't funny. No laughing matter, lack of silver platter. Cold, starving, breathing no more. Alone in the world, penniless, poor. And the last one is called The Darkness. Last poem of this set. Within the blackness I see a face, ancient evil from a haunted place. Frozen, scared, I was drawn within. A powerful magic crept over my skin. My heart slowed as breath exhaled. My flesh withered, dried, scaled. This forgotten cult worships the dragon. Soon my blood will fill the flagon. Hypnotic dance, delirious laughter. My place is booked in the ever after. Beware of soft lips and a gentle caress. She's evil, a viper, part of the darkness. Well, thank you for listening, and I do hope you have enjoyed that set. What a fantastic place this is, the Storytelling Cafe and the World Poetry Cafe. A fantastic site indeed. Again, please check out all the other artists, and if you want to donate, do so. If not, I do hope you've enjoyed, and as I always say, I do hope it's encouraged you, it's inspired you to write yourself and go out and be creative. Take care and goodbye for now.